Good morning. While streaming POE2 since the release of Early Access, there have been a few things and questions coming up more than others. So I compiled most of these and figured it could still be beneficial to some of you to make a video going over all these little tips, tricks, and frequently asked questions. This video is mainly geared towards newer players, but maybe others can pick up a thing or two as well. Also, there are some things that are Stormweaver specific, since this is the class I have been playing a lot, and most of the people in my community are playing right now as well. So first, frequently asked question, and that is the most common question I get under my videos and as a question in my chat while live streaming as well. And that is the question: I'm using your build guide, I'm using your exact same passive tree, I'm using your support gems, and I also have very similar gear to yours. Why is my damage so much lower? Since this is not only the most common question, but also a very, very loaded question and tough to answer for every single person specifically, I have made a video, I think 2 days ago, which I will link in the description and I will be referring to now, which is called "Why is my damage so much lower?", where I'm basically going over all the reasons that might be the reason for your damage being lower. So at this point, I will refer to that video here. And for this question, we will refer to that. So let's go to the next point. Okay, next point is a tip. I had this question a lot as well. I am using Spark right now, and I had the question a lot that how am I moving so fast while also casting Spark? So probably the reason why most people are asking this question is because they are using Spark this way. They are moving and just holding down Spark and moving again, holding down Spark, moving again, holding down Spark. This way you are losing a lot of movement speed. So the tip is how to not lose movement speed is you move and you just tap Spark. So I'm just tapping my mouse button here, and you can even do this very, very fast. So I'm tapping very, very fast. I'm casting very, very fast. Cast speed definitely helps here. The more cast speed you have, the more it doesn't decrease your movement speed. So I'm moving and I'm just tapping Spark. Another big thing with this tip is while moving, you will notice if I am just standing and casting Spark, my mana gets drained here and it fills up. Yeah, not as fast. Let's drain it again. But if I move, it fills up faster. So that is because I am using, and most of my build guides as well for Stormweaver are using Etherflow, which means 25% reduced mana rec while stationary and 50 increased mana rec while moving. So this, while moving and casting and tapping, we are basically not losing any mana at all. Okay, next one. While doing the last one and quickly doing the last tip on the candle hideout map there, I got a perfect jeweler's orb from a chest. So I guess this video already done me right. So next tip might be a little bit obvious to you guys, or obvious to most of you, but I still had the question and I still checked on some people when they had this question, and it was forgotten actually more than I thought it could be. So it is quality. So quality on your skill gems is very, very important. For me as a Spark user, especially on Spark and especially on Archmage, it is very, very important. Quality on gems has different effects for different skills. For Spark, for example, it is more projectiles and I think more projectile speed, and it just, yeah, definitely increases your damage output by a lot. So make sure everything is qualityed up. Same goes for your gear. Okay, next one is a tip of something that I still see being underutilized, and in my opinion, everyone should be using it since it is basically free damage and in some cases free mobility as well. That is the use of weapon swap. So if we go to my second weapon set here, I am using Sigil of Power and also using Blink on weapon swap. So I am getting basically free damage from Sigil of Power and incredible movement or incredible mobility from the use of Blink, basically for free. I am also using conductivity on weapon swap with the improved curse nodes activated for it. So if we are on my second weapon set here, we see that all these curse nodes are activated. That makes my conductivity just so much stronger. So if we go here and we check out conductivity on my first weapon set, the curse effect modifier is 35%. And on my second weapon set with the passive nodes activated, it is 98%. So yeah, it just makes conductivity so much stronger. There are a lot of other cases for curses on other classes as well. Yeah, this is very, very easy to use and very basically free. So I have a video on my channel as well, which I will link in the description, where I explain this concept a little bit more thoroughly, so you can use it as well. Okay, next one is gonna be for ES users, especially for Stormweavers as well, again, because we are most of the time we are using Everlasting Gaze with Eldritch Battery. So our energy shield basically just comes from the Everlasting Gaze, but the main thing that increases our energy shield, and this is very, very key to having high energy shield and not having to go into a lot of passive nodes on the passive tree or into jewels for a high energy shield. The most important thing for having high energy shield here is having high energy shield bases. So if you go for bases that are just high energy shield, so this one, this will make your energy shield so much bigger, especially when using Everlasting Gaze. So the effect of increased energy shield and maximum energy shield is not as high as just having a base with high energy shield. This might as well be very, very obvious to some of you. I know I'm saying you want high energy shield, get high energy shield bases. I know it's very logical, but I had the question, so I decided to include it. Next one. All right, next tip is going to be anointing your amulet and improving the quality of your rings and amulets with catalysts. So for me as a mana stacker, improving the quality on my rings and my amulets is very, very big. So I have been using the Neuro Catalyst on these three. So this ring, for example, rolled 183 maximum mana. I got this to improve to 219 with the Neuro Catalyst. And this one rolled 181 and I improved this to 217. For me as a mana stacker, that is very, very huge. It is a very big difference. It can make a very big difference for you as well. There are many different ones for many different classes. And regarding the anointment on your amulet and everything else regarding improving quality on your jewelry, I will be linking a video I made a few weeks ago in the description again. So let's go to the next one. Okay, next tip is going to be a very simple thing in general. It is the tip to do the content you are good at. So many different classes and many different ascendancies and setups are good at different things. I can speak for this class of Stormweaver right now, the Spark using Stormweaver. I am very, very good at clearing maps, doing breaches, and generally doing high tier maps in a very, very fast fashion and clearing those maps. With this build that I'm running right now, I am a little bit underwhelming when it comes to killing high tier pinnacle bosses, for example. So I've made a video a few days ago where I switched to a more boss killing setup that I am using to kill the high tier bosses as well. So yeah, it is just look at your character, look at what you are actually good at, and if you want to excel at farming currency or just progress in the game as fast as possible, concentrate on the content you are good at the moment. Are you a good breach farmer? Do a lot of breaches for the moment. Are you good at killing pinnacle bosses, or are you good at single target damage and you are just a boss killer as well? Concentrate on maybe farming currency that way. So always try to be as efficient as possible. PoE is basically a game that is about being fast and efficient. So yeah, next one. Okay, next tip is, of course, always being rest capped. It is something that is very, very obvious. And of course, most of the players, even the newer players, I think really, really got how important it is to be actually rest capped. I am, for example, pretty much way over right now. I like to go even to go around 90, because some of the higher tier maps often have the modifier of -15. So I am still going to be completely rest capped when it is -15. But there's also another thing. When you feel tanky enough on your class, and especially this goes for ranged classes like my Stormweaver here, when you feel tanky enough, the best way to get even more tanky or to feel more tanky, I know it sounds a little bit weird, but is going more damage. So offense in this case is then your best defense. So if you're not getting one shot when some mobs are running at you and you feel tanky, you are res capped as well, then you should always focus on your damage, especially as a range class, because yeah, it is pretty logical in my opinion. If stuff isn't getting to you, it cannot kill you. So yes, offense is your best friend after you have made sure you are res capped and you are not getting one shot and you are tanky enough to really go for damage. Next one, you are way too far zoomed into your Atlas. This trick has been around for a while now, but I still get the question on my stream pretty much every day, so I will showcase it here as well. This is our zoom level for our Atlas. There is a trick, and I think GGG will actually put this in as a standard coming the next patch. But yeah, let's try it out. So we are zoomed in here, and it is not working every time, so bear with me. While zooming out, so I'm scrolling my mouse wheel back here. While scrolling my mouse wheel back and zooming out, I am pressing escape. And like I said, it's not working every time at the first try, maybe not even the second try, maybe not even the third. Zoom. Now, see? And now we are zoomed out and your Atlas is much easier to traverse. So zoom out, scroll out, and then press escape. You cannot touch your mouse wheel after. If you touch your mouse wheel after, I am back to normal. Yeah, zoom out of your Atlas. Okay, next one is going to be very obvious again to PoE veterans. But like I said in the beginning of the video, this is geared towards new players mainly. So yeah, I saw this a lot as well on my videos as a comment or in my stream. You can shift right click a currency. So if you shift right click the currency, the Alchemy Orb here, right here, I have some white maps here I want to use an Alchemy Orb on. If I do it the normal way and right click and go over here and do it like that, the Alchemy Orb is not on my cursor anymore. If I press shift and do right click, the Alchemy Orb stays on my cursor. This goes for every currency item. So if you're doing something in mass, if you're doing it like this, it'll be much faster. You can also crush your dreams by very fastly doing using the Orb of Chance on your Sapphire Rings or Stellar Amulets. So yeah, you can do it very fast and cry a little bit. But yeah, this will make it much faster. Okay, next one is a question I get a lot as well, and that is, can you price check my item? And unfortunately, to 99.9% of cases, my answer will be no here, because for two reasons. The first reason being, I have been playing PoE for a long time, and I think I have a grasp on what things might be worth, but I still don't know for sure. Even when I am doing my own price checks, I am doing it very thoroughly with the trade side. I am doing it very thoroughly, especially when the item seems to be a little bit more on the expensive side. So I don't feel comfortable in just price checking and ballparking stuff all day for other people, and especially after they will be selling it and I told them a price and they are saying what the hell, that was so wrong or anything. The other reason is that you can also just price check very easily yourself, and in my opinion it is a very good skill to have, to use the trade side in order to price check, and everyone has like a different approach to it. I mainly do it like manually on the trade side. I've been doing it for a long time like that, but we also have the tool now. I will press Ctrl D here, of using PoE Sidekick, and this is my this is not an ad, but in my opinion, this is a very good tool right now, especially for newer players, maybe to use this to quickly price check something, to get a ballpark of what things might be worth. So I press Ctrl D here on this ring, and now I am it already put in all this itself. So now I can take these ones and get an idea. I'm leaving out evasion rating for now, for example, to get a sense. Okay, we are around 20x here. And now I'm including evasion rating again. I didn't include elemental resistance. Now we are at 10 divine already. This is already a very good example of how difficult price checking can be sometimes. I put evasion rating again, and we are at 20. So yeah, this is the perfect example of why I am not doing price checks for viewers or anyone else. Yeah, because you can just be so absolutely wrong. I will do, one of my next videos I will do is definitely gonna be a full trade guide video, and just a video on how to use the trade site, how I use the trade site to price check things, how I am trying to get a grasp of what things might be worth. So yeah, check the channel for that video to come out very, very soon. But yeah, the app here, Sidekick, I can really, really recommend. It is super, super good just to learn and just to get a grasp of what things might be worth. Next tip, you might have more currency than you realize. Sometimes people say, I am completely broke, I have nothing, I cannot even farm really right now because I cannot progress, and I don't have any currency to even get a slight upgrade to anything. So this trick, or not a trick obviously, but this tip is going to be, go to our lovely Alva, don't get lost in your eyes though, and we go to the currency exchange. We say we want exalted orbs, for example, in this case, and then we go to I have, and we are here in the owned section. And yeah, there will always be maybe something that you don't really need and you have collected a lot, and you can just trade in for her. So let's just go maybe right here. Yeah, I have a lot of blacksmith whetstones. These are not as valuable. For example, I have a lot of lesser jeweler's orbs, not as valuable as well. Maybe you can trade in some Val orbs. You don't really need 254 Val orbs at the moment. You can trade in some of these. You can maybe even trade in some regal orbs. The prices vary, of course. Maybe you're not in need of that many chaos orbs right now, so you can trade in for some exalteds to upgrade your gear. Or, for example, you have been doing a few Trial of Chaos, but you kind of forgot about it, and you have some soul cores left. So right here, we have the soul core of Puharte. We have 2, and they are almost 5x. So we are selling it. We have 2. We have made 9x very, very fast. So always check this. Don't let things rot in your stash. Look for what you don't need at the moment, and maybe trade it in for some exalted to upgrade your gear to progress in the game. So yeah, check that out, and let's go to the next one. Okay, last one is a question I get a lot as well, and that is, can you check my gear and tell me what to improve? I have been doing it sometimes for a few viewers of mine that have asked this question, but it is getting harder and harder to do it for everyone. So we are now having a gear check channel in our Discord. So if you want to join the stream sometime and maybe join our Discord, we are a growing community that is helping each other out. And we have a gear check channel. So if you want to put in your gear with a max roll planner into our channel, we can maybe check out your gear and maybe tell you what to improve. Okay, that was it. Yeah, these were pretty much the tips I had so far. It would be super, super nice if you in the comments let me know if I forgot anything. Do you have tricks that are maybe not as obvious to most people? So put it in the comments, help some other people out. I really hope that at least one thing, or maybe 2 things even, were helpful for you here. I know and I realize, and I will probably get the comments, that most of these were completely obvious to a lot of the players here, but I still wanted to do it. And yeah, check out the stream. Come back. Bye.